Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. Ramadan Mubarak. I don't know if you guys are starting Ramadan today. I'm in Ghana. We are starting Ramadan today. We're in our first day of fasting, alhamdulillah. I don't usually make videos during Ramadan, actually. Well, I have in the past, but not like this, not lives usually, not so much, alhamdulillah. But I decided I wanted to just jump on because there's so many things that I've got that I really want to share this Ramadan, and I do always emphasize that we spend as much time as possible with the Quran, because obviously Ramadan is the month of the Quran. So please don't waste time with me. If you know you should be reading the Quran or doing something else of your ibaadah that you need to do, don't delay your time with me. I encourage you highly to just go and get on with that, inshallah. But I wanted to try to share some benefit for those who are online at the moment, and inshallah this video will be saved and probably I'll upload it to YouTube as well, inshallah. I just wanted to talk about some things, like just a few brief things, very quickly. Today I was just thinking about my first experiences of Ramadan, and for those of you who don't know, I'm a revert. I've been Muslim for about 22 years now, alhamdulillah, I'm that young, mashallah. So I started fasting in the Ramadan before I became a Muslim. And I did that for about 3 years, and the main reason why I did that is because I had so many friends who were Muslims, and alhamdulillah, I really enjoyed spending time with the Muslims because they always made me feel welcome and everything. And then alhamdulillah, when I did take my shahada, I remember that time I had actually moved to Newcastle, and I was living there alone, far away from my family, far away from friends, everybody I had known, and it was really lonely time, actually. And alhamdulillah, I'm quite a loner anyways, so I'm not usually bothered if I'm by myself. I do enjoy my own company in general, alhamdulillah. But I found it challenging because I didn't really get to do anything, and it was ignorance. Like they say, ignorance is bliss, and in a way it was. So basically what happened, my first Ramadan as a Muslim, when I was in Newcastle, I didn't get invited to anything, and I literally did not learn anything about Ramadan. I just thought Ramadan was not eating from the dawn until sunset. Okay, so literally that's what I did. And subhanAllah, I didn't even know that it was the sunnah to break your fast as early as possible and to delay suhoor and all these kind of things. I didn't have a clue about any of that. I didn't know about Taraweeh. I didn't know about Laylatul Qadr. I didn't know about any of these things, subhanAllah. And then even though I was going to the masjid and mixing with Muslims, nobody had invited me for iftar and all these kind of things. I had no idea about this stuff, okay? So I spent that year, as a new Muslim, completely oblivious to really what Ramadan is about. And those 22 years ago, you can imagine, we didn't have how the online space is now with social media and everything. Yeah, so things was completely different, alhamdulillah. And then I got married, and I didn't learn anything. I didn't learn anything about Ramadan from my then husband. And then what happened after that is, I think it was after I had my first daughter, I took a visit back home to London, and where I was living at the time, we had some Indian Muslim neighbours, subhanAllah, and I went to visit them, and my Indian uncle, yeah, he was telling me, oh, tonight is the night of power, and I was just like, what's that, And then he started explaining it to me, and I was just thinking, subhanAllah, there's so much I didn't know about Ramadan. And at that point, I don't think I'd ever prayed a Taraweeh or anything like that. So I didn't know anything about that. So I was literally I just had been continuing, not eating during the daytime and keeping up with my salah and these kind of things. But that was it. I didn't know anything about the Taraweeh or anything else. So after that, I started learning about those things and started going to the masjid more. Alhamdulillah, which was great, and that time when I did start frequenting the masjid, I became literally somebody who used to go to the masjid every day. And alhamdulillah, Newcastle's a really small place, so it was really easy for me to do that. And the community is very close-knit there, and alhamdulillah, it really benefited me as a new Muslim to be mixing with the community there. They had a lot of activities for new Muslims, and it was really engaging, and we got to I got to build a strong community there basically. And now I'm living in Ghana. Alhamdulillah, it's really, there's so much blessings living in this country, alhamdulillah. But I definitely really truly miss my Newcastle community. I'm not even gonna lie, it's just so different. And I think when you're especially a revert, moving to a Muslim majority country, or a country that there's got a high population of Muslims, Ghana is not completely a Muslim country. It's they've got a lot of Muslims here. They've got masajid everywhere and things like that. But you feel it's like being a Muslim is almost normal here. Do you know what I mean? So it's you don't, it's not like when you're in the UK and you're a Muslim and there's that much extra effort, for example, from the local mosque to like kind of accommodate people for like iftars and you know, all these kind of different things, like these kind of communal activities that you do outside of the salah. You don't really get those kind of things here. You know, and my husband is Egyptian actually, so because he said to me, like, they don't really have things like that. They have like some street iftar or street suhoor, sometimes they do that, the community will get together, but it's not something that is like the masjid specifically like every day. You'll find in the UK like every day during Ramadan there's going to be like iftar and things like that. You know, there's going to be things for you know, especially if you're a revert and you don't have any Muslim family, you'll have a place to go to be able to break your fast, you know. SubhanAllah. So I was just thinking about these kind of things and how much now and shout out, by the way, to all my sisters in Newcastle. You know who you are. Assalamu Mubarak, may Allah bless you, and Ramadan Mubarak to you guys over there. So yeah, so it just had me thinking about how isolating Ramadan can be, like as a new Muslim especially. And alhamdulillah, I've been Muslim for a long time now, so you know, it's you know, I'm accustomed to certain things, and you know, I know what I do, and you know, have my routine and stuff like that, alhamdulillah. But it just had me thinking, you know, how much my online community, you know, is important to me now, especially because I'm living in Ghana and I still don't really have like that kind of sisterhood that I used to have when I was in Newcastle. And alhamdulillah, through the Diaries podcast, Allah has blessed me so much by being able to meet other sisters, other like-minded sisters, you know, and some of them, subhanAllah, you know who you are, sisters, you know who you are, alhamdulillah, Allahumma barik. But those sisters, I truly love them for the sake of Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, he says that, you know, those some of those who will be under his shade on the day of judgment are those who they meet each other for his sake. So alhamdulillah, you know, being able to be blessed to have those sisters who I love them for the sake of Allah and they love me for the sake of Allah, alhamdulillah. You know, so we've got that community, like it's an online community basically. So that's why I just wanted to emphasize like the importance of an online community, and I think that some people really underestimate that. And it's important, especially for reverts, because especially now, so many people have been coming to Islam through, you know, connections that they've made on the internet, or like, you know, the online dawah space, for example, and they may live in areas which are, you know, non-populated with Muslims, you know, so they might not even have ever met a Muslim in real life, you know, in the, you know, in like day-to-day life. So, you know, they're going to be having Ramadan, you know, if that applies to you, then subhanAllah, like, may Allah help you, may Allah keep you steadfast and make your feet firm in this religion, ameen. But Islam is a beautiful religion, and it's really worth like making that effort to obviously put in that time, but especially Ramadan. So let me just be focused here anyways. I don't want to like go on too much, because actually I should be going to get up to do other things. But basically there is an online community. There's loads of online communities, but I want to talk about one in particular today, and that is my former Muslim podcast. And I've been following her for quite some time. May Allah bless her, mashallah. She's doing really amazing work. But she's basically got this really beautiful online community which is aimed towards Muslim women, Muslim sisters. So whether you're a revert or not, but the reason why I'm emphasising the reverts especially is because, you know, that's who I identify with, you know, because obviously I'm a revert. So for reverts especially, there's a lot of benefit there, because, you know, especially if you're really a new Muslim, you know, you're just getting into the deen. And I've just heard even yesterday from one of the Islamic Centre in Newcastle that a sister just took Shahada yesterday. So you can imagine, like, you take Shahada and then the next day it's Ramadan, so you have to fast. There's so many things that could be overwhelming. And you know, when you have like a community that you can attach yourself to and help you to just like, you know, get through those early years with Ramadan and stuff like that, and you're in your deen and helping to learn your religion, it's really important. So alhamdulillah, the Mindful Muslimah, she's set up this really beautiful community which has been going for some years as far as I know, but I've recently joined it and it's been really interesting so far. I'm still navigating you know, what there is to offer, but they have a beautiful program specifically for Ramadan. So they have things like Quran journaling and Quran challenges and stuff like that, which I'm trying to get into Quran journaling actually, because it's been something I've been interested in for quite a while. I've seen a few videos online, sisters doing stuff like that, and I found it interesting because I love art as well in general, and I like writing too. So I thought like it would be a nice idea. And obviously I love the Quran, alhamdulillah. I read the Quran every day, alhamdulillah. But obviously you can read the Quran every day and not have that, you know, not take that time for like that personal reflection going looking at the tafseer and things like that, which is really important. Last year I did make a video during Ramadan, which gave a lot of links to different YouTube channels and online schools and lectures and stuff like that, which are specifically for the Quran, for tafseer of the Quran, or helping you to memorize Quran. So definitely check that out from my channel, inshallah. It's really beneficial because, as I said, we really need to be focused as much as possible. I've just dug up this book. I found this book in my things, in my belongings. Yeah, it's completely empty, not done anything in it. Assalamu alaykum, makar. Okay, so yeah, completely empty. I've not done anything in it yet, but I intend to use this book, as big as it is, for my Quran journal, inshallah, because I really want to start doing that. And I thought it would be nice to use a big book. I usually like working small, actually, when it comes to sketchbooks and stuff, but I thought this book would be good because at least it'll give me a good amount of space. If I want to write like an ayah out in Arabic and then write the translation or write some notes of the tafsir and stuff like that, there's plenty of space on just one page that I'll be able to do that. And obviously, being an artist, I want to have that extra space available to be creative and just like maybe put some little bits and pieces like drawings or whatever, something else in there. I don't know how it's going to go, but I intend to inshallah commit to that. So one of the things that I'm trying to do in this, one of the ways I want to make use of the mindful Muslim community is that they have this Quran journaling. So she has a journal that you can just download and use it as is, but I want to use my book because I like to have a physical book. And I'm going to use that group, inshallah, to help me to stay accountable with the Quran journaling. So that's one of the things that can be beneficial about having friends and, Muslim friends and stuff like that, that's going to help you to stay accountable, with your actions when you make intentions to do things, when you make plans, which we all should have planned for Ramadan. But if you haven't, it's not too late to start. But yeah, so it's good to have, friends to support you basically in your journey. Alhamdulillah. So that's what I intend to use mine for. And I think what I'm going to try to do during this month might not be every day. If I don't do a live video, I'll probably just maybe post a picture or something if I've done anything in this book, so you can see that I've actually been keeping up with things, inshallah. And I'm just going to see how it goes basically. But I just wanted to share that. So the Mindful Muslim, basically she has a 14 days free trial for her community, and it's not an expensive community. It's not one of these rip-off scam kind of things. It's not expensive anyways. I think it's $37 in a month, right? You pay for monthly, but you can try it out for 14 days for free, inshallah. So I'm going to put a link. I've got an affiliate link. I'm going to put it in the description box if anybody wants to jump onto that. And if you do, let me know that you have joined when you get into there, because obviously I'm in there as well, so it'd be nice to meet you and see that, see who's listened and see who's benefited from this little chat that I'm doing. I don't usually do live, so if you found that I was talking some nonsense, then please forgive me. Astaghfirullah. That's not my intention, obviously. I'm just trying to share some benefit here for sisters, because I'm finding it beneficial so far, and inshallah I want to make the most out of my Ramadan as much as possible, because you can get busy with so many different things, but I think it's important to really be focused. And when you have a group, a like-minded sisterhood, you might just be even one or two people. You don't need loads of people, but however you need to get supported, and it helps you to stick to your goals and what you intend to do, then do it, for the sake of Allah. Alhamdulillah. So jazakallah khair for listening. I'm going to get off because they have a daily Quran reading, which I want to actually hop onto right now. So I'm going to be late if I don't get off now. So inshallah, that's what I'm going to get going and do, inshallah. But I'm going to put that link in the description so that you guys can, inshallah, check that out if that's something you'd be interested in. Because I think, a lot of sisters that I know personally have an issue with, just kind of have that feeling of isolation and not really having a community around them, especially for sisters like myself who've made hijrah and stuff like that. Maybe we're missing back home, maybe we're missing our communities that we left. So inshallah, the online community, we have to make the best of it. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.